What's going on, family? My name is Toure Muhammad, the founder of Black Chicago Eats and the self-proclaimed hungriest realtor in Chicago. So we want to bring to you another taste of Black Chicago. Check it out. All right. So, man, brothers and sisters, as we always tell you, we got some amazing people that we love to showcase. We have entrepreneur, chef, baker Cheryl Nelson, the owner of Sweet Vegan Bakes. She is absolutely a trooper, a visionary, and we are excited about what she has coming up in 2024. And you see, she's in the kitchen whipping it up right now. Chef
Yeah,
Cheryl, what's she making today?
I'm making right now for one of my customers a cookies and cream cake for him.
Wow. You do a lot of customized and personalized requests, don't you?
Whatever they want, I do it. Whatever they want. You know,
Has
I'm so blessed. I could veganize anything, no
come on
matter what.
now.
Yeah, I could veganize anything, and that's only due to the fact that I've done this for so long and been out trying to figure out how to get it done right without having to use some of the supporting stuff that they have out there. Listen, I have nothing against the other stuff, the Beyond, the Impossible, but for me, because of my health, I have to eat so clean. And because I'm eating clean by default, honey, you're gonna eat clean. Because
Uh-huh.
I want to eat everything that's on my menu. I told you I've been to restaurants before that were vegan, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get this," and I was talking to the owners, and the owner said, "But don't eat that. Don't get that." And I was like, "Don't wait, this your list." Okay, you know
Wow.
I should be eating that. So I want to be able to serve people everything on my menu. I want to be able to eat everything on my own menu.
Right.
I think I turn serve it to you, and with good conscience.
Right. I love that. That's so important and key today. Now, you're making a cookies and cream cake.
Baby, baby. So the cookies and cream cake is going to be a cake because you know cookies and cream is vanilla and chocolate. So what
Right.
we do is you can do it different ways. You can do it the marble style, but what we do two layers of chocolate, a layer of vanilla in the middle. Then we make a cookies and cream really rich frosting, where all the cookies are. We do a fine cookie in the frosting, so you can taste the bits of cookies, and it's amazing. It's really
Oh
amazing.
man. That frosting got a little crunch, a little tiny crunch to it.
A
Come on.
tiny bit, a tiny bit.
So what has somebody asked for something what's the biggest challenge that you were asked to create?
The biggest challenge. Ooh, I don't know, because everything seems to be so amazing. I'll tell you what took us. What was really crazy for us was we had a wedding. The people of the wedding, they were they were of Jewish descent. They were Jewish, and they said, "We want these waffle cones things that we saw." No, they wanted some waffle cones. So then I looked at the waffle, and I was like, you know, and they had a wedding of 290 people or 298 people, something like that. And I said, well, those look a little plain.
Hmm.
I opened my big mouth to say, listen, we're not going to do those. I'm going to do you something called a bubble cone. They just wanted something simple.
Uh-huh.
But she's laughing because true to Chef Cheryl, I'm always going the extra. They didn't ask for this. So we ended up doing these bubble cones for them where we had to make these bubbles out of waffles. And inside the cone was a cream, cookies, and truffles. And they were in these big cups and they were drizzled with chocolate and powdered sugar. And it was just, it was
Wow.
crazy. It was crazy. And I remember when we went to, because we had to deliver them. When we went to go deliver them, we had them in these big boxes and the tops were off. You can see them. And we were dragging them in these wagons. And as we were coming through the wedding, the reception had started. People stopped dancing and started looking like, what is that? It was, let me tell you, we were here. It was one, two, three. Was it five of us? Yes, five. It was five of us trying to get these cones out the door. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. And
Wow. Vegan waffle cones were filled with deliciousness.
yeah, then we did a bubble cone.
Bubble cone.
It was crazy. And that was good. But we've had stuff where people have called us and said, oh, I want a 6-tiered wedding cake. And on the first tier, I want it to be chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. The second tier, I want it to be all vanilla. The third tier, I want it to be a guava cake. The fourth tier, I want it to be a strawberry. I said, now, ma'am, it's your wedding. We're gonna do what you want to do. So, I thrive on those kinds of things.
Man, that's amazing. And
I can
there's a lot of artistry in what you do with those cakes.
Absolutely. Can you give me an offset, please? Like offset. It is, but I always tell people that I'm not the cake person that's gonna make you a Louis Vuitton bag. I'm gonna make you a cake that tastes really good, has all organic ingredients. It's gonna taste. It's gonna be cute too, but it ain't gonna be no Louis Vuitton bag. And I can do that. But here's the thing: my volume is so high, I don't have time to spend an hour on one cake.
Uh-huh.
I don't have the time. When I could frost 7 to 8 cakes in 1 hour doing a Louis Vuitton bag, I'm going to do one cake. I just don't have the time. My volume is too high for that.
Man, that's beautiful. That's a good thing. That's a good problem to have.
It is. I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
I feel so blessed.
And so, obviously, you touched on creating product basically from scratch and not using assistants to do it, and the health benefits of that and why you did it.
I wanted to make sure that, see, food has to have certain aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Food should taste good. It should be good for you. It should make you feel good. Like, food is an experience. And oftentimes we just sit down and we eat and we get the experience of it tasting good and making us feel good. But what is it doing for our inside? We're missing that third component. And my prayer is that everything that I touch with this food is going to heal somebody. It's going to make somebody feel great. It's going to taste great, but it's also going to heal them. That's what I've been thinking about. That's what I want to do. And so I take the time to research products. I take the time to research, ingredients and source out things. They're putting something called glyphosate on all the vegetables and the fruit, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, glyphosate is a human carcinogen. And so now I have to figure out how I can create stuff without having that glyphosate in it. So now all of my foods has to be organic.
Uh-huh.
And of course, when you buy organic, it's going to be more expensive, right? So I use the organic brands instead. I go to a mushroom farm to buy mushrooms so I can avoid glyphosate. And so all that stuff costs money. And so making everything from scratch.
She's learning from me too right now.
Yes, making the sauces from scratch, the frosting, everything from scratch. It's labor intensive. Whereas, most restaurants, and I'm going to say most, let me just not say that. Some restaurants can just go into the cabinet and pull off that shelf-stable frosting and that shelf-stable cheese and that shelf-stable this and start working. We have to sit down and break every ingredient and make it from scratch. So it becomes labor intensive. You might have saw the video we put up where we were like literally putting balls together, rolling, pressing them out, making burgers. This is not a machine. This is a person doing this.
Right. So, all right. So let's talk about that a little bit too. So of course, people in the name, they hear sweet vegan bakes, but when they get to your location, to your spot, you're gonna ask them, "What do you want? Sweet or savory?" And
That's
you
it.
have some delicious, amazing burgers and fries and just all kind of stuff you're doing. So talk a little bit about the savory aspects, those sandwiches.
So our savory menu is really curated out of the need to bring people in who are not normally vegan or who don't live a vegan lifestyle, who don't normally live a vegan lifestyle. We want to give them something so they don't feel like they're missing anything. So we're trying to be that missing component. So when I sit down to create a burger recipe or a burger, I'm thinking in terms of what did I like about a burger before I became vegan? It was juicy. It had flavor. It had seasoning. All the things that I have to create the same thing and emulate that so that I can bring people in who wouldn't normally try it. And really, 37% of our customer base are non-vegans. They're non-vegan. And so I sit down and then I'll make the stuff in-house and I make everybody try it. My team like, oh my God, I eat this again. Oh. So I'll start making, I'm like, hey, everybody, come over, taste this. I want to know what it tastes like. And they know I want them to tell me the truth. They say, oh, this is good. Or, not yet, chef. I'm okay with that. I said, no problem. Let me keep going. But I want to make sure that it's going to be good for everyone. So the savory aspect of it, we got the best burger. The best burger is made with all veggies. There is no soy in the best burger. Okay, listen. We make it with all veggies, black beans, portobello, onions, pepper, seasonings. It's all savory, all vegetables. Then we have a new burger. It's called the OMG barbecue burger. Baby,
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
amazing.
I saw that.
You got to get that. We have the cheesesteak sandwich that's made with a house-made cheese sauce. So we're making things from scratch because we want them to taste good, but also I want to know what's in everything.
Right. And so talk a little bit about the care that you have. I've heard you when a customer comes in and yes, they're vegan, but then everything that is vegan still may not be something that their body can consume.
That's
So they
right.
give you very specific instructions on
Oh
what
my
they can have. No
goodness.
gluten, vegan,
Let
right,
me tell you.
soy free, and you figure it out. But you already know what other substitutes and replacements that you can use for what they can't eat.
Listen, I love my customers so much. You know, I had a customer come in the other day. She's like, listen, I want the black cherry lemonade. I don't want no sugar in it. So I'm sitting here saying, what? I said, no problem. You want black cherry lemonade? We'll make some black cherry lemonade. I said, give me that agave out of there. I
Right,
made her some black cherry lemonade on the spot, and I used agave for her. Because my customers come in, they want no sugar, they want no soy, no coconut, they want no dairy, no eggs. That's a given. Then they don't want any gluten, and they sometimes I
nuts.
am amazed. They want no nuts. I'm amazed at what they don't want in the cake. So I had a guy order a cake, and he didn't want soy, he didn't want gluten, he didn't want sugar, he didn't want soy, he didn't want nuts, he didn't want coconut, and he didn't want oats. And he said, can you make this cake for my
What you
wife? I
want?
said, yeah, I can make the cake for your wife. So I'm putting it all together for him. So I ring it up for him. And he said, oh, this is an expensive cake. I said, sir, you want me to pull off a miracle for you right now. You got to work with
Right,
me. Because you,
right,
you wanted to take my cake, right? He said, yes. I
right.
said, I gotta figure this thing out for you. And so he and I sat down together and we put it together. So he was so angry when he left. He's like, I can't believe my wife wanted me to pay for this expensive cake. And I told him, thank you so much for coming. I certainly appreciate you. He left. He comes back to pick his cake up. He's still mad. He's picking the cake up. He takes the cake away. The next day he's calling me, Chef Cheryl, I want to apologize to you. I said, what's happened? This cake was amazing. I said, that's what I'm talking about. You didn't want nothing in the cake, man. I said to make it taste good.
Right.
He
Man, that's
apologized.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
And I was so grateful. No matter what, I try to stay gracious. Sometimes people don't understand the value in what we do and why we do it. But I have people standing over here cutting up fresh onions and fresh peppers and fresh this, and they're not pulling something out of a bag. I'm like,
Right,
it's a real person cutting this. So we ain't got no machine. It's a real
right.
person
It's a real person.
getting prepped for the day.
Right.
So I want them to understand the value. And then we're buying everything organic because we're trying to keep you from eating glyphosate and all these other pesticides, and all these other things that are putting on the food. It's important.
It
It's
is.
important to me. It's an ethical thing that I have within me that I can't.
I love it. And that's why you're growing. That's why you have some loyal customers and you're expanding as well. So tell us about the expansion.
Listen, we're going to Richton Park. The Richton Park people are going crazy right now.
Coast to coast, north side to the south side.
I'm telling you, Richton Park. You want to finish this cake for me? Richton Park, Frankfurt, Park Forest, Orland Park. Let's see, who else? So many people. Matson. On a daily basis, I get these calls. I get 30, 40 calls a day. Come on now, y'all playing. When's the Richard Park opening? I had a lady call me and say, listen, I've been driving past here every day saying a prayer. Could you come on? So I'm going to Richmond Park. We're going to be open in March. We have had a little bit of trouble with some contractors doing what contractors do,
Yeah,
but it's okay because we still coming.
we still come. And are you keeping this location, the North Avenue
Oh, this
location?
location's going to stay. This is my baby. This will be, for my North Side people who don't travel to the South Side. And then I'm trying to create an area where, because I got a lot of people come from Indiana now, and they fussing about me coming to Indiana. I said, listen, they want me to come to Evanston. They want me to come to Indiana. They want me to come over in Highland Park. I'm one person.
Right.
But what I've done with the new location is this. I'm so excited. I've created a system, because that's what I think we mess up with as restaurateurs. We don't have systems in place. Think about McDonald's. McDonald's is a multi-billion-dollar a year company, and it's ran by teenagers. You go in, there's all teenagers running it. Why is that? They have systems in place.
Yep.
Well, I began to sit down and say, what can I do? I created the system. So how to build a sandwich, how to do this, how to do that. When you walk in, and I've never worked in fast food before. So, and I'm showing these things to my husband. He was like, how did you know to do this? I was like, is that what they do in the big places? But creating those systems will allow us to expand without losing quality and without losing great customer service, because there are systems in place. And when I talk to my team, I don't tell my team that they did something wrong. I ask them, is that brand? She's laughing because I say that. Is that brand? I don't want to put the responsibility on their shoulders. Put it back to the business. Is that brand? And if it's not brand, then make it brand. What is brand? But that's the word that we use in house. When we're making something, we have to look at, is it brand? It's not brand. We go back to the drawing board.
Come on. Yeah. And what's the brand? Tell us, describe the brand.
So the brand is going to be something that it is meticulously done. No step was missed. If there are 10 steps, you're going to go every step 1 to 10 in that consecutive order. It is going to come out and it has a certain color, a certain look, and a certain texture. That is what we're looking for. And every single thing that we do has a brand at the end.
Perfect standard.
Has a perfect standard at the end. It's what one of my chefs just said.
Come on.
And so that's what we go for. We're not going for just throwing. Even when we make a sandwich, we build a sandwich so that the flavor palette is going to get every single flavor. When you know how you get a wrap and everything just thrown on one end of the wrap and then the meat on that.
Right.
That makes me so mad.
You forget what you're eating.
We want every single bite to be delicious and flavorful. So that's how we build our sandwiches. So everything has to be brand. We were doing frosting one day. They were whipping the frosting. And they said, ma'am, is this ready? So I go over, I look, I go, I didn't say it wasn't ready. I just said, is that brand? They all walk over and look, it's not brand. Okay, make it brand. It's not brand. It has to be on brand. And brand is that thing that we're not shortcutting you. We're not. I have a saying in the kitchen that no shortcuts. Is this right, Laka? No shortcuts.
No shortcuts.
No shortcuts. Do it all the way.
I love it. I love it. And the analogies, the connection. My second job
leaning on that side
was McDonald's.
Really?
And the standard and the training. If I could go back to McDonald's right now, maybe some of the equipment is a little bit different, but the training is still there on how they taught you how to make the product.
And that is the key.
Yes.
That is the key. Having that standard that goes across the board in the training. And so that's what I've been doing with my team, creating a standard. I even created sheets to how to build a sandwich. So you got the best burger. It shows you first, step 1, boom, step 2. And then they got pictures showing you how to build this sandwich.
Come on. Because
I need you to build this sandwich right every single time.
That's right.
It can't be good just when Chef Cheryl in the house. It be good all the time.
Listen, Chef Cheryl, thank you for saying that, because if I had the biggest critique of restaurants, that would be it. When the owner / chef is there, that the visionary who has their heart and passion into it, when they're there, everything is great. When they're not there, you want to turn back around because you know it's not going to be the same experience.
That's just a lack of systems. And here's what I don't want to do. I'm not married to this place. I'm married to Charles Ray Nelson Jr.
Say that.
This is not my husband.
He'd be clapping. I know he'd be clapping right now if he heard that.
When we first opened, I was here day in and day out, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't leave this place until I said, I got it. We need systems. And
Mhm.
I want to make sure that we do that because it's important, especially, because I'm an African American woman, um, and I'm in the restaurant business. The restaurant business is a tough business by itself. Then
Right.
you add black and woman, you better have your stuff together,
Right. Right.
because they'll come for you. I hate those reviews, and I haven't had any, praise God, but I hate those reviews that said, I'm trying to support the black. Don't support me because I'm black. Just support me because I'm a business.
Because it's
That's it.
good. Right.
And if you don't like it, don't mention my race. Just say I don't like it.
Right. Because that has nothing to do with it.
Has nothing to do with being black. I've been to some restaurants owned by some folks that's not black, and it tastes horrible.
And it's horrible. Of
And we
every
don't ever go.
ethnicity.
Have you ever heard somebody give a review that says, I try to support European-owned businesses, but every time, have you ever heard? I try to
Never.
support Chinese-owned business. I try to support Italian-owned. I try to. You never hear that it's only
Never.
when it comes to black people.
That's
Cut
right.
it out.
That's right.
Cut it out.
That's a fact.
So, don't try to support me. Just come. If you like it, great. If you don't, I get it. And then, I look at some of my competitors. I'm always looking at the other guys out there, the other vegan restaurants, what they're doing. And I'm gonna tell you what Chef Cheryl does. Chef Cheryl reads everybody's reviews.
Uh-huh.
On Sunday night, I read everybody's reviews. I need to know what you're doing. I go to you and I go to all their good reviews and say, oh, okay. Then I go to their bad reviews. I go, okay, we won't do that. I'll put a system in place for that. I'll make sure that's taken care of. I read everybody's reviews.
The gym right now.
I read everybody's reviews.
You dropping the gym right now.
So that when you come in here, if you had a bad experience as so-and-so vegan, you are not going to get that same one here. I've already read their reviews. We ain't going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. So that's what I try to do to really make sure that we are meeting the customer's needs. Because guess what? They can go anywhere.
That's right.
They can do whatever they want. And when they choose to come to us, why don't we treat them as if, oh, this is a blessing that you came? When we have people driving from Milwaukee, south suburbs all the time, northwest suburbs, north suburbs, Evanston, coming from all over. I've had people get off of the plane, just dropping in from London and say, oh, you were on the list.
And first on the list.
I go to my Instagram to look at my followers. I'm like, it's people in the UK following me?
Right. Come on.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And so how dare I not give them a great experience when they come? How dare I?
That's right.
When you come in my restaurant, you're going to be greeted. We're going to treat you like you're at home. We're going to sit you there, especially if you stay and eat with us. We're going to roll the red carpet out, So I really try to do great customer service. And what I found is that customer service starts at the top. I hope I don't offend nobody now. Great customer service starts at the top because all of my team emulate me.
Yeah.
When I'm at home, when I pull up the camera, I'll see my chefs talking to the customers. They're saying what I would say to them. She's laughing. They're doing what I would do with the customers because they're watching me. They're emulating what I do. If I were a person that when a customer left, I can't stand these people, then they would have that same spirit.
Yep.
They would have that same spirit. I believe that customer care is like a circle. So what I believe in doing first is being very good to my team. Because if I'm good to them, they're going to regenerate that and they're going to be good to my customer.
That's a fact.
Then my customer is going to regenerate that and they're going to come back to me. So the care comes right back to me.
That's right.
So I always start with being good to them and making them feel comfortable. Making sure that the customer is first, making sure that we're giving them exactly what they want. And even sometimes if we don't give them exactly what they want, I try to make up for it. I've had customers that say, oh, this is not exactly what I wanted. No problem. How can we fix this for you? And that's what I think too about some of the reviews. The issues that some of the people have could be solved if they just talk to some of these restaurant owners. Yep. Just say, hey, I came to your restaurant and the food wasn't right or this wasn't cold. Let them fix it.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Go ahead, do your drizzle.
That's right.
Let them fix. You need more frosting on this side. It's open. Yeah. Let them fix it.
Mm-hmm. But that goes back to what you're saying though. If the environment is conducive, then a customer doesn't mind saying it. If they don't feel as though it's going to be received well, then they leave and just put it up online.
Yeah, I had a customer call me and say, Chef Cheryl, She says, I really love you. I said, who is this? She says, I come all the time. She said, today I came and I got something and it didn't have that same oomph. I said, was it good? She said, it was good, but it didn't have that oomph. And I said, well, what did you get? So she's telling me what she got. I said, okay. I said, what day did you go? And she told me what day she went. I said, okay. I said, we're going to be in the area again. She told me. I said, come back in that day. So she came back in that day and she called me as soon as she got in. She said, you told me to come back and you're not here. I said, I don't have to be here. The problem is fixed. They're going to give it to you. You'll be fine. It's fixed. But thank you for letting me know.
Come on.
Yeah, it's fixed.
That's organization. That's care.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I can't see myself doing it any other way. It's almost an insult not to do the best for your customers, right?
Right.
I went to a restaurant the other day, and I'm not even going to say who it is. Stay back. And they had their kitchen door open, and they were talking to me from the kitchen. The owner was talking to me from the kitchen. And I walked up to talk to that person, and they had a open thing of food. It was just sitting on the floor. Everybody was walking around it. I said,
come on.
No. This what you, and y'all, I said, ooh. Now, if I was a me, I would have took a nice little picture. Right. I just said, let me just get out of here. I just had to walk away because you don't know where you eating at.
Yeah.
And I just think we should just take care for our customers. Not just that, but have some integrity. Do the right thing, not because somebody's watching, just because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I really want to do. Like, I got some young people that are working with me that I believe that they do the right thing, and they always know, because I'll call them and say, so yeah, I'm watching, and that's not the way. Oh, I know, we're going to do this. Okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye. I just wanted to make sure everything is okay.
Right, that's right.
The 2-second calls, it is. She calls it a 2-second call, and I call that. She calls a 2-second call. Like, no, that's not the right. Okay, thank you. Bye. No need to go on about it. Just that's not brand. Everything has to be brand. And I'm so grateful because Sweet Vegan Bakes, and the statistics of restaurants that they close in the first 3 years or 5 years.
Yep.
I'm grateful that Sweet Vegan Bakes from day one has paid its own bills. Now, it hasn't paid Chef Cheryl a whole lot, but
it's paid for
I'm not like trying to figure out how it pays its own bills. It pays its own bills. Everything that's Sweet Vegan Baked, it pays its own bill. It pays its own payroll. I'm not adding all the money that I put into it in the beginning. I haven't put anything of my own personal into it since then. It's flipping itself. It's flipping itself. And so that's what I'm like, that is grace. And I'm so grateful.
That's huge.
I'm super grateful for that because I couldn't imagine. I was thinking about some of my other counterparts, people that are, having a harder time. And I think, having loans and equipment financing and the restaurant business, and then us being vegan, we don't have the largest customer base. Those things contribute. And so, before I became a restaurant owner, I was a business professor. Mm-hmm. I was a VP of operations for a healthcare organization. And so finances was my thing. So I said, I'm not going unless I get the money to go.
Right.
You can get me out here in these restaurant streets and I can't do it.
And be in trouble.
I don't want to be in trouble, Yep. And I told my husband the other day, because now we're opening this new location and it's costing quite a bit. The budget started out at one thing and it done tripled. Mm-hmm. But I told him the other day, I said, listen, babe, all our kids are grown and they all got their own places. They doing well. I said, it means you got to live in a cardboard box. We'll be okay. It's just been me and you. It will be okay. But I'm grateful because that's going well too. Mm-hmm. That's going well too. So, yeah.
And I'm one of those who I just enjoy good food. I enjoy, I try to mostly eat healthy food, right? So, to be able to have something that I enjoy, and I know that there's a better nutritional factor in it, even though I'm not vegan. Yeah. And I think that's one of the most important things that adds to your success. One of them is that it's just delicious food, right? It doesn't have to be that you're a vegan to enjoy it.
It's just
Which
good.
it's been a huge shift, maybe especially in the last 5 years. It
Oh
was
yeah.
like, oh, it's vegan. you
Because
know,
vegan food didn't taste that great. I'm gonna tell you something. I just had um, a speaking engagement with a high school, and they were asking me about vegan, and I hate to tell people this, but it really is the truth. You know how you say, "Oh, this burger's so juicy," when you go to get a regular burger, and this burger's so this and that. Listen, people need to know that part of that juice, that's pus coming out of that dead meat.
yeah,
So that juiciness that you like, that's pus. So
it's
for our
poison, right?
burgers, it's when I make a vegan burger, there's no fat in it. So then I have to add some fat in it to give you the mouthful. So I'm adding things like grapeseed oil or a coconut oil, something that's going to be a good oil for you, that's going to give your body some nutrition, and you still get that mouthful. That's why our stuff good. We're giving you that
Yeah,
same ambiance without that pus. Nobody
without the
want that.
pus.
Nobody want to eat that. That's
Need
gross.
that pus. We don't need that pus.
Mm-mm, no. So I'm
Absolutely.
excited to do it.
Yep.
If you see how excited I am when I'm making food, the customers are laughing because when I'm making that food, I'm like, "Ooh, this looks so good." They're like, "You talking about
Yeah,
my
I
food?"
seen you.
Yes, my food is
I
about to be
seen you.
good.
I seen you. I got worried one time. I thought you was gonna eat my food before you gave it to me. What is good?
Because I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to do things. And
That's
when
right.
We get to Richmond Park, we're making our own bread. So listen, I want you to do a challenge. And I
You're
have this
making
thing I'm
your
gonna
own
do when we get
bread.
back. Oh yeah, I like making bread. Take a Wonder Bread package or any bread package and look at the ingredients. Bread is only
So much on
flour
there.
and salt. And if you want to put yeast, I don't put yeast in my bread.
It'd be a whole 2 paragraphs
But
worth of stuff
the
in there.
ingredients is, why do you need all this? You don't even need all that flour. It's just flour, water, and salt.
Right.
Baking soda and baking powder. There's nothing else in bread. Why is all this stuff on the bread? So we're gonna make our own breads. And I'm gonna tell you something else that people don't understand. We use unenriched flour, unbromated flour. So bromated flour
On
is
bromate. I never heard that one before.
it's a chemical that's added to flour, and then unenriched flour is flour that has natural nutrients in it. Then they strip them out and then put synthetic nutrients back. That's what enriched means. So when you see something that says it's enriched, that means the natural nutrients have been pulled out, then they've added something else back in, synthetic nutrients in. And then
Boy,
we
they
use
slick with the
unbleached.
words.
We use unbleached. So think about it. I have to use an unbromated, unenriched, and unbleached flour to make your cake because I have to.
Right. You have to. Right.
And you know what that costs? You can't go buy that at all the stores. You got to search that down, find the manufacturer, and order from way across the world.
Right. Because I don't think I even saw unbromated
Yeah. Uh-huh. Look it up. It's gonna taste like
in a
potassium chloride, something that they
uh-huh.
put in the food, and it's banned in every country but here.
Man, we got to be more aware. So we appreciate you for not only providing great food, but then also being an educator to help people to understand why. Because people don't know what they don't know.
They don't.
Right. And we don't know because it's so common and it's so easy for us to just grab from the shelf, and very few people looking at the ingredients.
Yeah.
We're not focused on that. So we need watchmen and watch
Yeah.
women on the wall saying, hey, look out for this. Hey, look at that. So that we
Yeah.
can take care of our health so much better than we are.
And we got to eliminate, genetically modified foods are banned in some countries.
Right, right,
Putin put out a thing that said if you bring genetically modified foods there, you could be put to death. The foods that are that are enriched, I don't eat nothing that says enriched, and everything has enriched on it. It makes you think that they've done something great. No,
it's
they've
some
taken out
better
what's
to it.
natural, and they replaced it with synthetic vitamins. Why do I need some synthetic if it naturally has vitamin C in it? Why are you removing that and then putting a synthetic vitamin C? What is the
Right,
purpose?
right, right.
What is the purpose of
It
this?
doesn't make sense at all.
I have to at some point have some sort of unified body where we are farming our own food, where we're having our own land, because it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse.
Only gonna get worse. That's right. That's right. And we know, see, there has been some conversations, right? Because we at least have a start point with a little bit downstate Illinois, and even in Michigan, there's black farms.
Really?
And the connection needs to be made so that restaurants and individuals that want to get some produce and some vegetables can start, we start doing some ordering.
Yeah.
And they can produce almost anything whatever the demand is.
Yeah.
But of course, they have the challenge of dealing with the conventional ways to get food to us. So, he's going directly from the farm to the table,
Farm to
whether it's the
table.
restaurant table or the home table.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, that is the way to go. I just think about it when you mentioned black farmers. It's so heavy on me with how we interact with one another when it comes to finances, because
Yeah.
if you buy something from the black dollar doesn't stay in the black community. I think it stays in the black community. I think the research said like 30 minutes or 45 minutes before it's gone to a different area. Whereas if you go to Chinatown or if you go to all these other places, it circulates. They go to their laundromats, they go to their restaurants, they buy their bread. And we are not doing that.
Yep.
It's not circulating in our community long enough. It needs to remain in the community for at least 60 days.
Yep. That's
It
right.
needs to rotate. It needs to rotate around.
It needs to rotate. I'll never forget as a young man going down to Maxwell Street and getting my clothes. That's when I was first starting to wear suits.
Yeah.
And I would go into one place and they would treat me like royalty. And then when I spent my money and got my suit and my shirt and my tie, and as I was walking out the door, he said, "Wait a minute. You need some shoes. My cousin, 5 doors down, go there, get your shoes." Right? And 3 doors down, the tailor, because you got to make sure your suit fits perfectly. Right? And wherever you went, before you left out, they was telling you somewhere else to go to get something else that you need. Oh, you're gonna need a hat. You looking good, young man. You got your shoe, you got your shoes. You need a hat now. Go down there and get a hat from so and so.
That's crazy. I had a lady come in. She lives in Orland, and she says, Chef Cheryl, I can't wait. You're going to Richmond Park, but I'm driving all the way from Orland. I said, Vegan Teas is in Orland. She got some good food over there. I heard her food is good. Go try Vegan Teas and see what you do. Go try her. She in Orland. Yeah. I said, go over there. That's what we should be doing. But we have been bamboozled.
Yeah.
To think that we are in competition. Hoodwinked, led astray, run them up.
That's right.
Okay. But it's okay, because I'm hoping that this next generation is coming. We gotta pray for them too. That they're going to be the ones to kind of bring this thing around. But right now, if we just do a little, even with Black History Month coming next month, we get 28 days. We need to capitalize on our 28 days. We be complaining about it. Let's kill that 28 days. It's going to be in everybody's face all the time.
That's right.
That's right. So I just want to, and then now we got Juneteenth. I noticed that during Juneteenth, since they've had it for the last 2 years or whatever, when they decided to start doing it, every Juneteenth, it'd be people at the woodwork ordering from me. We're supporting Black businesses. Right. For the moment. I'm like, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. But we need to capitalize on these things.
Capitalize on it. That's right.
And we need to make sure that we understand that, listen, every opportunity, because we don't get many, everyone has to be used to the fullest.
That's right.
To the fullest. And so I'm excited about being not just a restaurateur, but I'm excited about being a Black woman restaurateur.
Yes.
Because before I was fearful of that. And I'm not fearful of that anymore. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Come on.
Like me or don't. Come or don't come.
Right.
Because I'm staying. So I just want to, I want my other It's because of right now, Black restaurant Chicago acting a fool. The restaurants that's opening up in Chicago,
Yes.
are you kidding me?
It's
I
it's,
took
it's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It really
I
is.
went through Instagram pages the other day, a couple of weeks ago, just looking. I'm saying, you know what? Now we cutting up.
Yep.
Now we got
So, in 2015, now I started marketing and having my own marketing business, and well, it was really a newspaper, right, in 2001. And I had several Black-owned restaurants that I was marketing for, that had ads in the paper, and then I was going around with my free newspaper to everywhere, restaurants, libraries, placing them in there. I would have mine next to Indigo and Rolling Out, and what's that one, the Reader, right? We would be in those spots, and there was absolutely no representation of Black-owned
wow,
restaurants downtown. Downtown,
wow,
that was not, it's even South Loop.
right, right.
And so then when we did our list in 2015, it was roughly 175 Black-owned restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Our directory is over 500
Wow,
to
I'm so
right now.
proud. I'm so
And
happy
most of
for
that
you.
happened during and after the pandemic.
Isn't that something?
It's been a like a doubling. It's been almost pretty much, because I know I missed some. So I might, my 175 list might not have been everybody. I know I had some I probably missed on the west side. No disrespect, west side. I didn't I'm searching for them and driving in my car and looking around.
Yeah,
But it's so many now. It's
it
so
is.
many now. And you got so many downtown.
Yeah, it's funny when I see the restaurant owners, like when we shopping at the restaurant stores
Right,
or
right,
whatever.
right,
They laugh at me because I start hollering, "Hey, so and so!" They be like, "Who are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm from Sweet Vegan Bakes. I just be watching you on Instagram all the time. They
right,
celebrities to me.
right.
I'm running up to folks, half five, and I'm telling them they're doing a great job. They're not vegan restaurants, but the
Right.
fact that you have taken the initiative and had the gumption and the courage. This thing takes courage.
That's
The
right.
faith that you have to do this. This is really a walk by faith and not by sight.
That's right.
It really is. It's a
It is.
faith move. And so when I see them, I'm always so excited. I saw the owner of Soleil one day, and I ran up to her. She was like, "Oh, who?" And when I told her who I was, she just smiled. We just talked. I want people to know your people see you. We see you. We love
Yep.
what you do.
Yep.
You're amazing. Thank you for doing it. You know, thank you for
Yep.
doing it. So
Man, I love that.
good
I
point.
appreciate that about you. Anything we didn't cover?
Nah,
That you wanted?
no, I just Richmond Park is opening in March. Remember that we are a all plant-based, all house-made. We make everything from house, everything from scratch, crab cakes, everything from scratch with real food, organic food, um, and everything is done by hand. So sometimes when I get customers who want me to do 500 or something, I'm like, well, this is what it's going to cost. Well, if I get it from Jewel, because it's coming off a conveyor belt, baby, these are real people doing this over here. So I just really want people to know that we're doing it because we love them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a labor of love. It really is a labor of love.